right, so we turned in our Tahoe, 2016 Tahoe, and got a Traverse. And so here's my review on the Traverse because I adored my Tahoe. I loved it, but I drive a lot. It was a 2016. We bought it new. I think it had 17 miles on it. And I liked it. I liked the space. I liked how high it was off the ground. I loved the ride. It rode like a truck-ish, but I did love it. But had 117,000 miles, 5 years old, which meant that stuff was going to start to go wrong. And usually in the 2016s, something is going on with the transmission in 2016 Tahoes. That's what our mechanic said. So thank you, buddy. He's bringing me the goods. So I'm going to give you my review of the Traverse so far. Now that I've had it for like 4 days, I'll talk to you about what I like about it. So we got it's called Cajun Red. I've never had a red car. And it's has the black rims. It has the black bow tie here, right? So I didn't know that they called that a bow tie until I watched all these videos. So it's the RS version of the Traverse. Okay, so when you go in, it's definitely lower, of course, than a Tahoe. Let me shut this. It's lower than a Tahoe, and it has a lot of space in the back. These two seats I'll show you, they come forward. So I have two front-facing kids. There we go. One's 4, one's 2. They are both front-facing. The Tahoe's seats did not pull forward. So when my 10-year-old gets into the back row there, that was causing circus-like positions for him to get out of the car every morning at school drop-off and at pickup. So having them be able to move back and still have him sit comfortably in that third, because it is a bench seat with a third spot, so it's a 7-seater, which was awesome. Okay, so that was wonderful. Love that. Also, I do love the inside. So I just turned it on. I like this rear view mirror thing. So obviously I can see in my rear view, but then it does a video version. That was neat. Has all the typical stuff that you'd get in a typical vehicle. A typical new vehicle. So there's that. It has the double moonroof. This is the only one that opens. The one above me is the only one that opens, which was nice. The Tahoe is wide, a little bit wider, so it had a little bit more room to move around. I mean, it was nice, but what I also liked about the Tahoe a little bit more was like the cubby space up here. You don't have a ton. I mean, first world problems, right, at the end of the day. But it had a lot more space in the console, but there's enough space. It just meant that I had to get rid of my CDs, which I had to get rid of anyway because this car doesn't have a CD player. I think I live in 1990 still, where you need CDs, but the Tahoe also had a DVD player. This does not have it, which means my kids can just deal like I had to growing up and look out the window for their entertainment. You can pull this latch here and the whole thing goes forward. I mean, it took me some effort because there's a car seat there, but like that whole thing will go forward for you. I have to get floor mats for this. Oh, and then there's USB cords, so Mr. iPad can have his iPad in the back. And then you just, without a car seat, that's much easier. But see, they go back and forth, which is lovely. So there's a ton of space for him to climb in and out, which is great. You know what else is great is the amount of trunk space in this vehicle. Because in the Tahoe, there was half of this. Now, there's all this space, all of this space. Guys, in the Tahoe, this bag just fit. It just fit on the edge. And now there's all that space left, which we went grocery shopping yesterday and it was fabulous having that. And then to lower the seats in the Tahoe, I had to push a button, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, to be honest. Now with this, you just pull that and it pops the headrest down. And then, I don't think I can, oh, I did it with one hand. So that seat needs to come forward for this to go down all the way, but that's fine. If we have to put we have a golden doodle, if we have to put him in there, we still can. And it just gives a lot more space. And it's way better on gas. The one thing I cannot stand though, like I cannot stand it. I almost called our guy and said, I don't want this. Like it's gonna cause an accident at some point, is the auto shut off. If you're at a stop sign or a stoplight or an intersection trying to take a left, it is like, if you push all the way down on the brake, it shuts it down. And no, there is no button to shut it off. The 2020 and the 2021 versions do not have it apparently, but the new 22 version is going to, of course. But it drives me crazy to the point where I was gonna return it. And then I'm like, I'll get used to it, which I am, but I'm not at the same time. So anyway, that's my review. So far, so good. I do like it. Somebody also asked me if we buy or lease. We always buy. I drive way too much to lease, and I just don't like leasing cars. I think it's like renting. You're renting the car. And I listen to a lot of Dave Ramsey, and he doesn't like leasing either. So check Dave Ramsey out before you lease a car. Make sure you can feasibly fit a car purchase into your budget. Technically, he likes you to pay cash for your cars, but 25% of your income should not be on wheels or have engines. So listen to Dave Ramsey. He can explain it way better than I can. But no, we did not lease. I've never leased. I drive way too much for that. And at the end of the day, if I'm going to pay for something, I want to own it at the end. So that's just us. Go listen to Dave for more information.